Yes, today's topic we have is how does excellence become normal? How do we just normalize it? I mean, somewhere there's the culture right now to reward everything, appreciate everything, and motivate people or children to do it. And we also know in workplace as well, people, little older generation talk about how the quality of work has reduced, how people are not as dutiful as they were before, etc., etc. This action of my house help got me thinking. There was she has some kind of a plan in her head, I guess. That she has to be here for 2.5 hours, and when there isn't enough work, she will look for work to be done. And that I wondered, how come she doesn't escape it? She could easily go away because the major works are done. But then she'll look for something undone that needs attention, some corner somewhere. And I was wondering, how does that stick into a person? How does that come into a person? Now, she definitely had a role model. She hung out with her mother for a long, long time, whose work was like so dedicated to being excellent at whatever she did. Excellent became the norm. Doing the right things completely, fully, with full devotion became the norm. That is not like they're doing it for the sake of getting praise or raise or anything like that. I have a friend, she was raised by a grandmother who was very, very, very efficient, very effective, very dutiful. And for her, doing things, everything perfectly was the norm. So we got into talking one time. She said, my grandmother said, this is how we do it. There was no second way. And for me, it was, however, just do it. So the notion that I was raised with is just complete. We need to do it, finish it, however. And somewhere, is this excellence? Is that an event or is it an identity? I am doing this work excellently. Is that my identity? Or am I doing it because there is a deadline, there is someone supervising me, somebody appreciating me, noticing me, I'm getting the reward? Is it because of that? Somewhere when I go in for this external appreciation, I'm looking at what is that minimum I can do to get the award reward. And when I make it my identity, it is more like what deserves to be done, what attention, where it needs to be given. Somewhere we have been talking a lot about reverence, developing the reverence for anything, everything, which is doing it with love. Be it my job, be it the objects I handle, be it the clothes I wear. If I have, I remember when I was going to college, it used to be more like, press your dress that's only visible. So when we wore the chudidars, I never pressed the bottom because the top half was, the waist down till knees is not visible. So it's okay. Manage what is visible. Now, is that excellence? Is that time management? Once in a while, I just do it, or has that become a habit? Now, excellence is something where it becomes a habit. There is no second way to it. It could appear as rigidity for someone who is not used to it. Everything is done meticulously. Like the friend of mine I was telling about, everything she does is just awesome. Every small thing. And then she has energy to do so much more. Now, where is that coming from? And how can I develop that in my child? Right now, everything is a motivation. Eat something, motivate them to do. Read something, motivate them. Apply for exams, motivate them. We are getting exhausted with that constant effort that we need to put in. Now, what else can we do? I mean, we also have learned that children learn by imitation. Children watch us and they do it. Like my house help. She was with her mother who revered excellence. There is no second thoughts about it. So, in that case, now does that become a habit of just doing anything you do, doing it excellently? Now, that doing is the will. We have talked about feeling, thinking, feeling, willing. And first stage of child development is related to the development of will, wanting to do it. Not because of praise, not because of recognition, but just because I need to. That is why in the first stage of child development, we tell children imitate us, predominantly learn by imitation. So I need to be doing it. They need to see me doing it. Not because somebody else is going to recognize it or that I have to do it. There is no other choice. And if my language is like given a choice, I would rather not do it, then child will pick that up, right? So developing that will, engaging child in my daily activities, in the chores. Sometimes we develop the curriculum for kindergarten classes, and as part of the curriculum, we have class chore as cleanup and watering the plants and things like that. Parents complain. We don't allow our child to do work at home. Why is it that you do in school? But we don't understand that doing those chores is where the will is developed, and the will is so strong that we strive for excellence, and that becomes a habit. The question is, can I continue to do the work even if there is nobody to motivate me? I have a teacher right now, her child is in 10th grade. Unless the mother sits with the child is not going to study. So, mother is constantly paranoid, daughter is constantly escaping. And there's always a tussle. Is that what I want? Mother is so afraid that if she doesn't sit, the child will never study and she will fail. And the child is so sure that even if I don't study, my mother will make me study. Right? So there is no question of excellence there. It is more of supervision. It is more for the child, it is more of my mother will take care. I don't have to worry about it. So is that is that do you think that will give us the excellence? And I study because I want to learn. I want to be a better version of myself. Somewhere that has to be inculcated in the very first stage, right? That those habits are stronger than any additional inspiration, motivation that comes once in a while here and there. Many schools I have known invite motivational speakers to encourage their grade 10 children. When the child is already 14, 15 years of age, past the first stage and the second stage. Now, a dose here, a dose there may work temporarily because there is fear. We have generated enough fear in the child that if you don't do, then you'll end up in a crappy college. Look at them, and you want to get into this college, right? So, somewhere when I repeatedly do the task in an excellent way, finish whatever I have begun, do it with love, care for the surroundings. Don't worry about the response I get from others. I do it because I have promised to deliver that. In that case, the excellence develops. And it cannot be taught. Excellence cannot be taught. It's more like they observe. I mean, children are always observing, at least in the first stage of child development, they are like all eyes, all ears. It's as though their other sense organs have not developed at all. They're observing us so keenly. Do they see me finishing up a task with excellence? When I do a dish, am I cleaning it up thoroughly before I put it away, or I'm just doing it because I need to run to the next task? Am I saying let's do it tomorrow? It's okay. There's no urgency. Or if it is difficult, it's okay, leave it. Daddy will come and do it. Eventually, daddy may come and help out and we may finish it together. But the effort, how much do I put in before giving it up? So the attitude of this needs to be done and I will do it. That character building happens through observation, right? So this whole psychology of ownership has to be developed. I own this. That's why I do it. Not because someone else forced me to, likes me to. And then it is natural. Instead of asking who is responsible for doing this task, somewhere I develop this attitude. Does this need to be done? I can help. I remember my dad when he didn't care whose house he was in, what task needed to be done. If he saw there was something to be done, he would just go volunteer. And once the job was done, he would just leave. Don't wait for the praise, and things would not happen right, and people would talk about it and whatever. He says, yes, I've done my best. Given the situation, I've done it. And then walk away. And that any complaints or um, it didn't stop him from taking up similar tasks next time. He saw things needed to be done. That's it. So typically, such when we cultivate such attitude, I don't do when people are around. How many of us just begin cleaning up the place if we have visitors coming? Because visitors are coming, I want my house to look neat, clean, whatever. I do things. Otherwise, they're just lying around. That's not excellence, right? I'm doing it because someone else is going to come. Now, can I do whether anybody comes or not? I was visiting a friend one time. She lived by herself, and I was like thinking, if I lived by myself, I would live on bare minimum, including food. And she had made elaborate meal, like sabzi, salad, and chapati, everything. I was like, aren't you bored to cook for yourself? Or is it because I have come you're cooking and is it today that we are having something larger? We just caught up in that conversation. She said, no, I do it for myself. I do this every day. And it was not like she had to do only if there were visitors or if it is a larger group of people she cooks for. One person was important enough for her to do it, and she would do it. And I was just thinking for myself, oh my God, I wouldn't do it. So some of us naturally have that care, naturally have that willingness to do it. We observe, we take initiative, we just do it, we walk away whether people like it or not. That discipline, that empathy is there in us. Some of us, we need to cultivate it. And it's so easy for child to cultivate, especially if the adult is doing. So if I'm not in a habit of doing it, excellence is not on the top of my list. Yeah, and if I want it in my children, no advice. I begin to do it. I begin to practice. Because somewhere, doing this is freedom. I don't have to worry if someone will come back later and complain that you didn't do a good job. Because I know I've already done a good job to the best of my ability at that point of time. So I don't carry it with me. Somewhere the work appears lively, interesting. I'm engrossed in it. Decision to do or not to do becomes easier, right? So somewhere, for me as a parent, rather than asking, yes, you did it, you came first, awesome, or before the competition, or no, you have to do it, you have done it before, all that is, just think about it slowly. It's somewhere suffocating us. In somewhere I feel the pressure. Instead, appreciate the child folding a blanket, folding a towel, walking gently, slowly, putting the shoes away every single day. That's excellence. Small things done consistently with love, without worrying about if somebody is noticing me or not, which is doing out of fear. If I am doing it consistently, one day I'm sure to have this excellence become part of me. I embody it. And then there is no way you can sway me away from it. So, somewhere, children inherit those rhythms, and I need to create that rhythm. Thank you.